Hey everyone! So this is not going to be like my normal videos. This is definitely something that I haven't done before. I've been putting off this video for a long time. I've been trying to do everything but this video, but I knew that I eventually would have to do this video. Just to be completely transparent with you guys, so I have multiple sclerosis, or MS. I really don't talk about it at all. Even with people that I'm close with, I try not to talk about it. I spent a lot of my adult life actually not even acknowledging it, kind of avoiding it. I've actually been going through a little bit of an attack / flare-up for the past week or so, so I decided, you know what, I'm finally going to do this video. I want to kind of bring you guys through the journey that I've had with MS from my diagnosis to where we are today. If you don't want to watch this video, I completely understand. I'm going to try my best not to be emotional or anything like that. I do kind of avoid the topic at all costs, so I don't know how I really react to it emotionally when I do talk about it. So if I do cry or if I do get emotional, I'm really sorry. Just a warning in advance, I'm sorry. So yeah, if you don't want to watch this video, again, I completely understand. It's not going to be for everybody. It's not going to be like, let's go do some fun shit. So they actually discovered that I have MS by chance. I used to have headaches and migraines a lot. I would have a headache almost every single day, migraines maybe once a week. And they kept trying to put me on different things for this, but I ended up having an allergic reaction to every medication they put me on. So in the end, I was just so exhausted, so tired of having headaches constantly. I was like, you know what, doctor, please just send me for an MRI, see if it's something else, because it's unbearable at this point. So finally, after some persuasion, they agreed to send me for an MRI. When I got the call about a week later that they had my MRI results in and they wanted to see me in the doctor's office, that was fine. I was like, okay, let's go. So I went to my doctor and he told me that there are lesions in my brain. At the time, I had no idea what lesions in my brain were. Like, what the hell is that? That sounds like it's not supposed to be there. So he wanted to send me to a neurologist, and I said, okay, that's fine. So he sent me to a neurologist at the time, and he kind of explained to me that brain lesions can be caused by a variety of different things. They'd have to run some more tests on me to try to find out what this is. So he advised me that one of the tests that I would have to take is a lumbar puncture, or a spinal tap, which is when they put the needle in the spinal cord in between the discs and they take some of the fluid out. So that was great. I'm so scared of needles. I'm so scared of medical procedures, as I've mentioned before. So I was already like, I don't want to do this. I'd rather not know what I have. At this point, I don't want to do it. So I went for that test. That test sucked. It was horrible. I don't want to discourage anyone from getting, tests, or I don't want to scare people, but it's different for everybody. Some people say it's not that bad, and some people say it's a horrible experience. I was not one of the good ones. It was a horrible experience, and I hated it. But whatever, I got it done. I think it was about 2 weeks after the lumbar puncture. They wanted to see me in the office again, so I had to go and see the neurologist again. So when I went to see the neurologist again, I was with my mom. So he told me the lesions in my brain in the MRI combined with the spinal fluid indicate that I have MS. I was obviously shocked and scared and sad, but I was more so sad for my mom because she was with me and she was hearing the diagnosis, and I just didn't want her to be worried about me. So I wasn't so much scared for myself, because if I do have MS, I've lived with it for this long and I've been okay, so it's not a big deal. But I knew my mom would worry. So I remember in that office looking out the window. My mom was sitting here and there was a window on this side of me, and I remember looking out the window. If I were to cry, my mom wouldn't see me crying because I didn't want her to cry as well. I didn't want her to be sad. So I looked out the window and I was looking down and there was a bus stop out the window, and I remember thinking, oh, I'm just going to imagine I'm one of those people getting on the bus right now and I'm going to be fine. It's going to be happy and I'm going to be okay. So after that meeting, they referred me to a neurologist that specializes in MS, and that's the neurologist I've been seeing ever since. So my first meeting with him, he kind of explained the MRI to me and the disease to me, obviously, because I didn't know too much about it at that point. So the specialist that I saw diagnosed me with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, which is a type of MS, obviously. I think it's the most common type of MS that people have. It's basically people that have relapses or attacks, and then they're in remission for a little while and they have another relapse. So that's the type of MS that I have. So this neurologist said that my MRI scan was very unique and he wanted to start me on treatment right away. The treatment that he wanted to start me on was Copaxin, which is needles that you inject yourself with 3 times a week. And I didn't want to do that, obviously. I was still kind of in denial, like, oh, it's fine. I don't have any symptoms at all. I'm going to be one of those ones that just doesn't have any symptoms ever. That it was just a freak chance that I got diagnosed and I'm going to be fine. So he wanted to start me on Copaxin. I was like, no, thank you. I'm good. I think he was a little frustrated with that, and he was a little annoyed that I wasn't grasping that, I should probably start treatment. So anyway, I kind of brushed it off. I was like, okay, now I know I have it. I'm just gonna live my life knowing that I have MS and I'm gonna be fine. And then in 2013, I had my first flare up. My left arm was completely numb. I was slurring my speech like crazy. I was kind of losing my balance walking. And now that I knew what MS was and I knew what to look out for, I was like, okay, this is a flare up. This is MS, this is an attack. And this lasted about 2 weeks. So after that happened, I actually ignored it again. I was like, you know what? I know what it is. I know what I'm dealing with. I don't need to do anything about it, which was stupid, I know. And I would continue to have the symptoms of MS, slurred speech. I had that quite often. I still have that actually every now and then. Fatigue is a huge one. MS fatigue is so different than just being tired. It's like a hangover basically, where your body is just like, I don't have the energy to do this. Please let me stay in bed because you're not going to do anything today. That's still a pretty significant symptom that I deal with every day. So from the time I met my specialist in 2011 until about 2018, I had a few flare-ups. They were all kind of the same thing. I would always get numb on my left side. Sometimes it'd be in my arms, sometimes it'd be in my arm and my leg, sometimes my face. I had these speech problems. At one point I had a flare up where I actually lost most of my vision in my left eye. That was quite scary. I was at college and I noticed my feet were kind of dragging and I ended up falling and busting up my knees and my legs, and I was so embarrassed because my knees were bleeding and I had to go to class, and it was just embarrassing at the time. It's not embarrassing now knowing what it was. So finally in 2018 I saw my neurologist again and I said, okay, you know what? I'm down to start treatment. So he wanted me to start Copaxin, which is the needles, and I couldn't do it because I didn't have medical insurance at the time that would cover it, and Copaxin is very, very expensive. So instead he started me on Glitect, which is also an injection that you inject yourself with every day. So the nurse came over to train me how to inject basically. And when she came over, she wanted me to inject in front of her. I did it in my leg when she was there. It was quite painful. It wasn't unbearable. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is good. I know how to do it now. I can do this. And then the next day I did my arm. And the pain that I felt was unreal. It was immediate pain, I guess, from the fluid spreading in my arm. And then my arm started to get hives and it turned so red and it felt like it was burning. So that was extreme pain. It lasted about 2 minutes. It lasted 2 minutes of just constant pain before I finally got better. And then I said, okay, that's fine. I'm going to get used to it, I guess. And then the next day I did my stomach to see if it was going to be any better than my arms. And it was not. It was the exact same pain. It was unbearable. I was sitting in a ball screaming with pain. And I said, I can't do this anymore. So I made an appointment to see my neurologist again. And when I saw him, I told him I can't do it. It's too painful. I can't do this every single day. And he said, okay, let's start you on something else. And he suggested Mavenclad, which is a pill that you take for 5 days, and then you wait a month, you take 5 more, and then a year later you do the same process again. So 5 pills, wait a month, 5 pills, and then that's it for the rest of your life. So I took my first round last year. I'm actually due to start my second round, my second year, in September of this year, so a month from now. And this drug actually completely kills your immune system and then rebuilds it. So I'm a little skeptical on starting again in September. I'm a little worried because of the current situation with COVID and everything like that. If I were to contract COVID after taking Mavenclad, it would be very, very dangerous. I could potentially die because my immune system would be just non-existent. So I'm a little worried, but I'm definitely going to speak to my neurologist about it, of course. I didn't really have a reaction to this treatment. It was pretty easy. The only thing that I had was hair loss, because Mavenclad technically is in the class of chemotherapy drugs. So hair loss was a potential side effect, but not a lot of people go through it. I actually went through that. And I hated that because I have thin hair as it is. So I was like, oh my God, don't make me lose hair. But it's okay. So over the past year that I've actually been on this medication, I haven't had that many flare-ups or attacks. I have had symptoms, of course, but I don't think I've had a significant flare-up. I think I had one flare-up, but it was very mild. So that's basically my story of being diagnosed and my symptoms and now my treatment and what I'm taking. The main symptoms that I have are fatigue, slurred speech, brain fog. I have that quite often. I have a very, very bad memory. I still live a normal life as much as I can. It's hard for me to work a 9-to-5 job because of the fatigue. And if I have a flare-up, it's unpredictable. I could be out of work, for a month. And a lot of companies don't want that at all. A lot of companies don't have the patience for that, which is understandable, I suppose. But I'm sure there's companies out there that are very accommodating that you can find, that you could work for if you have MS and you suffer with the symptoms and flare-ups. But for the most part, I do live a pretty regular life. I forget that I have MS a lot. I don't talk about it like at all. And in my mind, it's like, if I don't talk about it, maybe I don't have it. I don't even think a lot of people know that I have it. It's so different for everybody. If you are diagnosed with MS, you can live a perfectly normal life. Just take care of yourself. Eat healthy, take your vitamin D, take your vitamin C, take all the vitamins. Every vitamin there is, take it. So I just live life and kind of forget that I have it until I get a flare-up, and then it's like, oh wait, yeah, I have MS. I mentioned earlier that I've had a flare-up for the past week or so. I've been having numbness in my left side. I've been having slurred speech. I've been having brain fog, fatigue. So I've had the MS hug for a couple days, which is like it feels like a band around your chest. It's like compressing your chest. And it's literally called the MS hug. There's nothing huggy about it. It feels like you're having a heart attack. It's horrible. As long as you know what it is and you calm yourself down, you just wait for it to pass. My symptoms are kind of going away a little bit, so I think I'm past the hard part now and I'm gonna be back to normal in a couple days. I've still been meeting up with friends, and as long as I tell them in advance, hey, I'm going through kind of a flare-up right now. If I'm slurring my speech, or if I look spacey, if my eyes are kind of like, if I look high, I'm not. I'm going through an MS flare-up. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to let you guys know that I do have MS, and I don't want pity, I don't want sympathy, it's fine. I'm living life pretty normally. I'm not upset that I have MS. I think I'm doing okay, I'm handling it pretty well. Sorry, this is so awkward for me talking about it. I don't know how many times I've said it already. I don't like talking about it, so sorry if this is super awkward. So as soon as I'm feeling 100% again, I will get out there and I will do another fun video for you guys, okay? I promise. So one of my followers on Instagram actually DM'd me the other day and sent me this amazing outro that they made for me for nothing. They just made it for me because they're amazing, and they sent it to me and I love it so much. So you're gonna see it in this video, and I'm gonna put his Instagram in the description because he's amazing, and thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm so excited. It's so cute. It's so cute. If you made it this far, thank you. I love you guys so, so much. Thank you. Bye.